Welcome to On Air with Russell of Hotels, where we talk about everything hospitality, from hotels to influencers and everything in between. We will feature guest interviews with hospitality professionals who will share their experiences. Your host, Russell Edmond, has spent over 25 years in the hospitality industry, beginning his career with Marriott International in hotel operations before moving into the sales arena and becoming a relationship building director of sales and marketing. Russell then went to the other side as a hospitality entrepreneur. He now consults in the hotel and meeting space, which includes being the CEO of Russell of Hotels Group. Did I mention he was a veggie foodie? Yes. Russell is always looking for good non meat eats. Please welcome your host, Russell Edmonds.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels, live hospitality talk show. Where am I? There I am. Hey, hope all is well. I got a new intro. Just wanted to try out something new today. Hope you guys are doing well. I just need to turn my sound down over there. I hope you guys are well. First and foremost, I need to apologize for last week's situation. We'll just call it a situation. It was a situation that came up that was not it was out of our control, right? It was out of my control. It was out of my guest's control. It was just one of those things that happened, the perfect storm, if you will. Things just didn't line up the way they're supposed to, or well, maybe they did. They lined up to the for the worst, right? But we moved on, right? So we're gonna act like that didn't happen last week. That show did not. I didn't even air that show. I didn't even post the podcast as well because it was just too much to edit and try to put things together. And I got kicked off maybe 2 or 3 times, right? So after that first glitch, we weren't able to reconnect. So we got on for maybe a couple minutes and then kicked us off again. So it's just best to let's just reconvene at another time. So the 17th of May, the 17th of May, we're going to redo that show. So Paula's already agreed to come back, Paula C. So I call her Paula C because I always butcher her last name. So, but there you go. But that's what's going to happen. So we're going to pretend like that didn't even happen. So today is show number 157, once again, right? So live from LA. So thank you so much. This is On Air with Russell of Hotels, live hospitality talk show. I think I may have mentioned it already. We're live here on YouTube. And then after it's over, the replay will be on other platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, wherever else, I post things, I guess. But the main places that I post are, of course, here on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. So you can find it in any one of those 3 or 4 places. Okay. So, but thank you so much. I'm looking at, and just so you guys know, I do welcome any, engagement. People can speak, they can say whatever they want to say. You can say whatever you want to say. I'm not going to repeat it, but please feel free to, make comments in the chat, and I'll make sure I address those at the very minimum. Just let me know that you're there, and let me know where you are, because I'm big on geographical locations, right? I just want to know where people are tuning in from, just so I can give you a shout out. So at the very minimum, you're going to get a shout out. And I'm going to say, hey, thanks for, watching or listening or whatever. So, but I do encourage the engagement. I encourage the comments and all that kind of good stuff. So let's go on. So what was I saying? Connecting people in collaboration. That's what we're all about here. Hospitality, #hospitality unplugged, which means, we talk about everything in hospitality. We talk about hotels, we talk about tourism boards or CVBs or DMOs or whatever, the acronyms we're using these days. We talk about non-meat eats. That's food, right? I'm all about non-meat eats because I do not eat meats, and we'll get into that a little later because every week I always talk about, the restaurant that the new restaurant that I experienced over the weekend, because most Saturdays are devoted to finding new vegan or plant-based restaurants because that's what I am. So I want to make sure I share those with people. I'm here in LA, so we're live here in LA. And like I said, it's show number 57. And today is Tuesday, May 3rd. Um, Before I move on, I have to bring this up, right? 2 weeks ago was my daughter's birthday, right? So I did wish her happy birthday on the show. Well, now I don't know if you guys even picked up on this. I said, there's going to be some other announcements, but she's graduating, right? Graduating from getting her master's in a few days from now. So I want to congratulate her. Not that she even listens to the show or watches the show. Every time it's funny, I call her sometimes and she's, on her way from somewhere, she's in transit and she's listening to podcasts right now. I always say, hey, what podcast are you listening to? And she'll go, it's never on air with Russell of Hotels. I say, well, do you ever listen to my show? Oh, you still do that? I'm like, okay, is that what we're doing now? But anyway, like I said, not that she would even know that I gave her this. I mean, of course, I'm gonna tell her congratulations in person, but I just, I have a platform, so I want to tell her. So congratulations to my daughter Deja for her master's in communication disorders. Okay, so that her job would be in what is it? Speech language pathology, but the master's degree is actually in communication disorders. So congratulations to her. And also, and this is funny, I don't know if this was planned, but my niece, my brother Stacy's daughter, graduates as well with her master's in social work. So they both graduate the same week, 2 days apart, different parts of the country. You know what I mean? So, but hey, you got to make both of them, right? You got to do what you have to do, right? So congratulations to her. Her name is Ariel. So congratulations, Ariel, for your master's degree in social work. And guess what? They both got jobs already. They don't graduate for a few days, but they got jobs already. So that's a blessing in itself, right there. So congratulations to both of them. So, but you have to congratulate or mention your family and all that kind of stuff because, for the most part, they support you on things. And although my daughter doesn't listen to the show, but that's okay. That's fine. But we continue to move on. So, but feel free to make comments if you're there. Like I said, if you are there, just say, hey, this is so-and-so, and I can give you a shout out. So there you go. Let's see. Let me push the button here. Industry news, industry stuff. I changed it from industry news because a lot of this is just stuff. It's not news, but some of it is news. So, but let's see. Let me get down to it. Okay. Collins College of Hospitality Management. That's at Cal Poly Pomona. I actually went through that program. And you know what? I was looking at LinkedIn on Monday, and I was, yesterday morning, or maybe it was Sunday. I was looking at LinkedIn, and I saw this post, and it was, oh my God, it was so. Well, bottom line, my sincere condolences and prayers for the family of Dr. Leah Dobson. She's the dean of students there at the Collins College. She passed away like last Thursday, unexpectedly. So when I saw that, because I met her actually once on one occasion when I was at Cal Poly doing something with Professor Leslie Butler, and she introduced me to her. And just a wonderful lady. Just the probably the 5-7 minute encounter that I had with her was good, was great. So and I walked away saying, hey, this the department is definitely in good hands, that kind of thing. Not that I needed to confirm that. But I mean, she was doing a great job. I've heard always good things about the program from the professors or the instructors and things like that. The direction that the program was going. So I mean, that was a big shock, not just to me. I mean, but as a shock to, of course, her family as well as the Collins College family as well. So my condolences and prayers to them in the passing of their dean of the department. Once again, Dr. Leah Dobson. Business travel. Now, you guys know business travel is back. At least that's what they say, right? So, and this is just a quick stat that I happened to see. It said 84% of business travelers will travel to a conference, trade show, or convention in the next 6 months. Now, I got this from, of course, I don't just pull this out of the air, right? I get this information from somewhere, right? So I got it from U.S. Travel Association News. So they are, and I've been hearing this, I've been reading things, and even in my own business where I come in contact with people that are looking to restart meetings and things like that. Because I have a couple of clients that they're asking me about, can you check, this destination on these dates or whatever. So it is happening. It is starting to come back. So I mean, that's all we can say. I mean, it is coming back, and so 84% of business travelers will travel to a conference, trade show, or convention in the next 6 months. And I also put up this little graph here. Boom. See, there's aspects of it, because you always wonder, right? Okay, why do people travel? Why do people want to get back to traveling, especially in the business world? And I'm always on the fence. I'm still on the fence about, okay, we're saying this, but what are the companies saying? What are the CEOs of these companies saying? Are they actually saying that we are going to start traveling, or these are just employees of those companies that say we're going to start traveling? I don't know. I'm always on the, of course we all want things to go back. To me, they'll never go back to where they were, because before you didn't have virtual meetings, or you didn't have them like you have them now, and things are always improving, right? So, but yeah, so I don't think it's ever going to go back to where it was, but I am saying that, yeah, meetings are coming back and they will come back. So I always ask the question to myself, unless someone else is listening. I always say, what is the reason why people want to go back to meeting? And if you look at this, and it's kind of blurry, and it's blurry to me. I'm not sure if it's blurry to you, but it's blurry to me. Probably not listening either. I just got a comment from my brother Stacy. He says, thanks for the shout out for his daughter Ariel, who I said was graduating with a master's degree in a couple of days. And he said probably not listening either. Yeah, they don't listen. They just do what they do. But that's fine. As long as they got masters, so they can do whatever they want to do. Okay, if they don't want to listen to this show, they don't have to. But I'm gonna give shout outs anyway. Even if you people don't listen, I'm still gonna give the shout outs. So, boy, that was funny. So, okay. So, as you can see, developing relationships. So these are the reasons why people, out of that 84% of the people that are going to be traveling sometime in the next 6 months to a conference, trade show, or convention, these are the reasons why they're going. And this is the percentages, right? So 47% of those people say they need to go to these trips to develop relationships. That's what 47% say. And I understand relationships are important. You always want to. I'm going on a trip in, I don't know, a week or so. And, it's with potential hoteliers or potential clients, okay? And you always want to, I understand you want to re-engage with people because people have been disengaged for a while, right? So you always want to see people and talk about, how you can assist them or whatever, because it's better in person. I do admit it is better in person to see people, because sometimes people forget you, right? Even if you email them or whatever, okay, email is so impersonal, right? But if you see them, like, oh, Russell, oh my God, that kind of stuff, and you get to touch and hug them and all that kind of stuff, but keep your distance, right? Because going to these programs, they make you sign a thing. I had to sign this thing the other day that, you have to sign a waiver that you're not going to be, embracing people or hugging and touching and holding hands and kumbaya, all that kind of stuff. So it's asking you not to do those things, right? But it's funny, the conference I went to in Vegas about a month ago, they did the same thing, but what were people doing? They were embracing, they were hugging, it wasn't like they were just high-fiving and fist bumping. They were hugging and, oh my God, that kind of stuff. So, so look for more of that, all right? So, yeah, we sign for the stuff, but, do we actually do it? No, we don't. So, and it is what it is, okay? So, okay, closing sales. The next one is closing sales. So you're a salesperson, and in order to close that major deal, you have to be in front of someone. You have to break bread with someone. You have to, have a meeting with them in person. So that's 23% of those people said the reason they go to these conferences, conventions, and trade shows is because they go there to close sales. Okay, that's number two. The third one is branding or building awareness. Building awareness of, I guess, who you are, or maybe your brand, or we're still here. You know what I mean? Or I'm still here, kind of thing. And I understand that as well, right? Because on air with Russell of Hotels, I try to get people to come on and talk about what I can do for their brand and things like that. And if they don't come on, I mean, they can sponsor or whatever. I can give them a shout out, whatever that is. But it's better if they, they see you and they're like, oh, you're the guy that has that show, right? So it's better that way, right? Or maybe they need meetings. I need to, they may need assistance with planning their next meeting or whatever. I do that as well, right? So, or social media, things like that, social media engagement or whatever they need assistance with. It's better if you happen to see them, right? So I understand this, all the stuff I understand. I'm just giving you the reasons that people, someone did a survey, right? So I have to share it, right? So, and then my professional development. Yeah, if you're going and it's a learning thing, it's part of it is education, because a lot of the conferences that I go to, there's always a portion of it that's, educational, right? There's things that you can learn, through speakers and things like that, I didn't even know that, or maybe you forgot about it. So personal development, that's always a good thing. My engagement and, what's that say? Oh my goodness. My engagement and, I can't even see what this is. That is crazy. I don't know what it is. Anyway, wow. Anyway, that was 18%. That is crazy. I can't even see it. My engagement and motivation. Oh, okay, that's what it is. My engagement and motivation. So, meaning, you want, if you have employees and they are used to traveling before, and all of a sudden it was taken away because of COVID. It was taken away for a reason, right? But people want to, go back and engage and see people and be motivated, right? So you get more people people that are happy about their jobs if you treat them well, right? So travel could be part of it. Travel could be an incentive to get out and go meet people, to go learn some new things, build your awareness for the company as well as for yourself, or closing sales or whatever. But if they're doing that before and then all of a sudden it's gone and then they don't know when it's going to come back, you know what? Bring that back up. Like, you know what? Hey, we're going to start maybe traveling, instead of doing, every month, maybe you only do 5 months out of the year. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not trying to tell any companies to do what they do, but and then understanding current trends. So 16% said understanding current trends, and I guess you can only get that if you go to a meeting, right? Now, I can understand some of the stuff, the current trends, but I'll give you this example. I want to say is Microsoft or Google. They're still going to do, for the meeting that they're going to be having sometime before the end of the year, they're still going to do it virtual. And they introduce new products and new services and things like that. But they feel it's more important for them to be, just come online and do it, opposed to being there in person. So at least this year they're going to do that. And I want to say it was either Microsoft or Google. I can't remember which company it was. But they say, you know what, we're still going to do it virtual. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means they just want to save money, or, we're not coming out with anything that big where we need to go take all these people with us and spend, $1 million in travel, when we hadn't been doing that in over 2 years. So why all of a sudden I need to be spending $1 million? Can't you see it? So I can see both sides of it. Of course, me being on this side of the industry, yeah, I want travel because that means I'm going to make more money somewhere, because people are going to need meetings and things like that. So, of course, that's going to increase my pocketbook, right? But I would understand if companies say, you know what, we figure something out. We can still be productive and not have to do all this traveling. So I mean, I understand both sides. And of course, I want the side that's going to increase, my wallet size, but that's not always the case, right? It's just not always the case. And I'm one of those people that, I understand both sides. Okay, so I'm sure you do too. I just thought I'd throw that in there. Sponsorships. Now you guys know Agua Resort, Nicaragua. I'm gonna try to make it there by the end of this year. But yeah, so it's a resort it's called Agua Resort in Nicaragua. Beautiful resort, oceanfront. I already booked a group here, a group that's going to be going there of so far 20 couples, or just say 40 people are going to be going. And from what I understand, this maybe only holds 100 people. So it's one of those places that you can just buy out. You know what I mean? So if you just an individual, you can go and just make sure you use that code right there. It's called RH10, which stands for Russell of Hotels 10. So you get a discount on that. But yeah, so like I said, they're with a small group of 100 or less, you can buy out the entire resort, which is great. A lot of companies are doing that, right? So they'll bring in bands, they have all the water sports, they bring in boats, all this kind of stuff, tours, boat tours, jet skis, paddle boarding, all that kind of stuff. So, but like I said, I'm trying to get there by the end of the year, and so I can see firsthand what's going on. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But yeah, they're one of our sponsors, so thank you so much, Brandon and Paul. 3 things I always talk about: be intentional, make decisions, and take action on what's important to you. So whatever that is, this is a personal thing. Be you. Whatever you do, be you. Don't try to be someone else. Like on this show, I'm not trying to be someone else. There's other people that do podcasts, but I'm not trying to be them. I don't even compete with those people. Right? I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just that I'm trying to concentrate and trying to deliver the best show that I can deliver. Right? So I don't let the noise, so to speak, dictate how I do things. Right? Like, oh my God, so and so did this, so I have to do it too. No, And I'm guaranteed they don't do that either. They're concentrating on what they're doing. So just be you, be genuine. Number 3, be represented, because my representation matters. Like to me, it matters that people that look like me know they can do this stuff, right? They can come on the show or they can come on the show and be a guest. They can do their own podcast. They can do their own live show. They can do all this stuff, right? So they don't have to necessarily look like me. It's just that know that, okay, if he can do it, I can do it, that kind of thing. So whatever the motivation is, that's the motivation, right? But my motivation is I want people to know, people that look like me specifically, to know that they can do this. So they can be intentional, make decisions, and take action on what's important to you. Be you, be authentic. People, be your authentic self. I'm going to mention that again in a little while. And number 3, be represented. Because, like I said, it's important to me that people who look like me are represented and know they can do this too. Because is it hard? No. Does it take time? Yes. Yeah. Do you learn on the? Yeah. Could you do this by yourself? Yes, you could. You can do this by yourself. You don't need a whole team of people to do it. I used to, but see, this is the thing. When I first started, I had a team. I just paid my money, and a team of 2 or 3 people would do it. All I had to do was show up. But I didn't know any different, right? I didn't know that I could not do it myself. So, just over time of just, paying attention, watching, asking questions, although I wasn't given a lot of answers, but looking at the equipment that they used, like doing my own research. And then, after a year or so, I said, you know what? I think I can do this on my own. So I kind of left the station. It was an internet radio station. They told me a lot, showed me a lot of love, but it was just time to go and kind of, chart my own path. So, but it can be done, independently. It doesn't have to be done in a company or a team of people or whatever, unless you choose to do that. But I think it's better maybe it's good that I learned that way, instead of trying to do it on my own and then going with another company. I think it was good that that I started there and then I said, okay, I'm gonna try to do this on my own after I amassed this information, this knowledge. Lonnie in the house. Sorry for being late. No worries, Lonnie. You know what? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being there, Lonnie. Let's see. How to buy a hotel. You know, Davon Reeves, Miss Davon Reeves is buying hotels. She's not only buying hotels. This is a crazy thing. She's not only buying hotels herself. She's actually trying to. I mean, and the nerve of her. She's actually trying to teach people how to buy a hotel. What a novel idea, right? Who does that? But no, I mean, I'm being funny. Okay, no, because and I always say this in all my years of being in the hotel industry, I don't know one person that has ever said, not that they have to come to me to say, hey, you know, you want to know how to open up a hotel or buy a hotel. No, but you would think after, you know, dealing with ownerships and franchisees and things like that, that somewhere that someone would, you know, it would come up in a conversation somewhere. You know, when you ask, you know, you would, you know, get some information about it. Not that they had to give you the blueprint, but it never came up, or I was never given the blueprint. It was like it was one of those things that was in the distance, and you would never get close to it, right? No, because no one wanted to talk about it. I'm not saying it was taboo, but no one was talking about it. So, but this Miss Davon Reeves really has her nerve, right? So she's like bought 3 hotels, and now she's teaching people. She wrote a book on how to buy a hotel, a roadmap to hotel ownership. So, of course, I applaud her, and you know, I hope you guys know I'm joking, right? No, I'm glad she did. So this is great. So you guys need to follow her, follow Davon Reeves on Instagram and on LinkedIn as well, and YouTube. I'm not sure if she's on YouTube or not. Yeah, she is on YouTube because she has a lot of these seminars are posted on YouTube. So follow Miss Davon Reeves, and she will show you how to buy a hotel. She has seminars like almost on a weekly, monthly basis, and she has a group. She has a team that she works with now. She has a broker and everything that only does hotels. His name is Amari Head, and he's called the Hip Hop Broker. Okay, so he's doing. I mean, they're both doing the most. So now she is a force, and it's funny. I just said that, and I looked down at the comment from Lonnie. He said Davon is a force in the industry, changing the landscape one hotel at a time. Yes, she is definitely. Definitely. So I always want to give her a shout out. I'm always going to give her a shout out. It's part of my, you know, my thing here. When I go through my storyboard here, if you will, that's one of the things that's listed. So I have to talk about it because I click the button and that's what comes up. But no, follow her. She's passionate about it. And like I said, if you want to buy or invest, see, this is the thing. You don't necessarily have to outright buy a hotel, meaning you have to buy it yourself, right? She has people that you can, you know, get together with other people, with other investors, and invest in a hotel. So you don't have to do it on your own. You can get a group of 10 people, 20 people, or whatever. It's like a step process that she has outlined and everything, things you need to do, things you need to know. You know, financing, of course, is a big thing. But even before you get to the financing part, you need to know who are these people that you want to buy a hotel with? You know, and what is their plan? Do they want to for long term, or do they want to get out? In 2 to 3 years. You know what I mean? And what is the goal of the team of that team, the investment group team? What is the goal of theirs? So you collectively, you have to know what everybody wants to do before you get in, right? Know you're out before you get in, kind of thing. So, but she teaches all that stuff, right? So, I salute Miss Davon Reeves for that. So, because she taught me more in one seminar that I've known in 30 years of being a hotel manager, as far as buying a hotel, purchasing a hotel. Okay, now I know how to run a hotel, but that's a total different thing, right? But more owners need to know how to operate a hotel. Not that they need to operate, but they need to know the ins and outs, and they need to know how to trust people. And when they do buy a hotel and have someone else manage it. Okay, so there you go. That's my little 2 cents. And let me get out this soapbox. Okay, so who's your best brand advocate? I have been asking these questions. I added it to my storyboard, so it must be important. Who is your best brand advocate? I asked this question to all my guests, and they always kind of pause. They're like, is this a trick question? I think it's me. Yes, it is. It is you. You are your best brand advocate. I asked Michelle Carlin a couple weeks ago when she was on the show. She was like, me? Yes, you. So yeah, no, boom, more owners, Russell. Yes, yes. So yeah, so who's your best brand advocate? You are. So if you're not excited about your brand, who else is going to be excited? So that's why I post things. I'm excited about what I do. I want people to know. I want people to feel that kind of excitement, that enthusiasm, all that kind of stuff. Because it matters. Because if like I said, if I'm just on here just going through the motions, yeah, this and that and blah, blah, blah. You'd be like, who is this dude and why am I listening to him? But, throw a little excitement, a little, enthusiasm behind it, and you'd be amazed how many people, come on and make comments or I'm out in the hotel community, and people, they know who, not saying that everybody knows who I am, and I'm just, no, I'm not saying all that, okay? So stop. Because somebody's out there's like, oh, he think he's something. No. I'm just saying that it's good that some people do watch it, right? And they see, oh, you're that, Russell of Hotels guy, right? I'm like, yeah, that's me. Okay, yeah, how'd you know? Oh, I listened to your show, or someone told me about the show. You know what I mean? So, but if I was on there, just going through the motions or talking crazy, people, if they said anything, it would be bad. No one's ever said anything bad. They just said, oh, you're the Russell Hotels guy. Yeah, you do a lot of good stuff for the hotels, right? How do we get on there? That kind of thing. I always love that when people say, well, how do I get on there? Well, just come on. Just reach out and, hey, you can be on here too. So you are your best brand advocate. So I'm the one that has to, I'm the one that's, doing the cheerleading for myself, right? You have to for your brand, and remember the brand starts with you as an individual. So the brand starts with Russell Edmond. That's me. That's my government name, right? So, but it branches off to Russell of Hotels because people, they don't even know my last name. Some people don't even know what my last name is unless they think it's Hotels. Your middle name is Of, and your last name is Hotels. So I'm like, okay, whatever, that's fine. But just it doesn't matter. It can be all in one, right? But it starts with you. If they like you, they're gonna buy what you are selling. Okay. If they don't like you, and let me just throw a disclaimer here: everybody's not gonna like you. Okay. So I know that. I've known that forever, right? I don't sit well with everybody. Okay. And guess what? Everybody don't sit well with me. So, but if you know that, you don't get your feelings hurt, right? Like, okay, I'm trying to get, people to, to utilize my services and all that. Well, everybody's not going to use my services. They're not. Everybody doesn't want to know my knowledge or what I know. They just don't. And it's okay. But there are people that do. So you want to reach the people that will roll with you, the ride or dies, or however you want to put it, the people that resonate with you, all that kind of stuff. We are our own superpower. Branding is key. Thinking outside the box is highly competitive, and in a highly competitive arena wins. Yes. Yeah, you definitely have to, thank you so much, Lonnie. You definitely have to think outside the box. You can't pigeonhole yourself into just thinking one way or have blinders on. You have to, take the blinders off and see what's going on, right? And see how you can affect, this industry that we love, that we put so much time and effort into. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I started just Russell of Hotels, is because I wanted to help more people. I wanted to reach more hotel managers or whatever, especially when it comes to like social media and branding and getting your name out. Because, as a director of sales of one hotel, guess how many hotels I can help? Just that one hotel. But as Russell of Hotels, I can help as many hotels that need assistance. So, and then with the show, I reach more people. They can come on. We can talk about their brand or whatever. We can do like the sponsorship thing that the Aqua resort does in Nicaragua. I mean, you can do all those kind of things, right? But it all begins with who's your best brand advocate, and that begins with you. So, but be consistent, whatever that is, whatever that means. Be consistent. Now that I beat that one to death, increase. How do you increase social media engagement? You know, I'm a big proponent of social media engagement, or big proponent of social media. You know, this is social media, right? Did you guys know that this is a form of social media, right? So, how do you increase your social media engagement? Consistency. I just said that. Lonnie just said that as well. Be consistent. You just can't post one time or have a show one time and just think that everything is just gonna, oh yeah, I want that guy. I want to be on that guy's show. You know, that's not gonna work like that. So you got to be consistent. People need to see that you're consistent. People won't know you unless you're consistent, right? So consistency is number one, and it is the key. The second one, value. Make sure you're adding value to someone. Make sure, you know, if someone is interested in doing a podcast. Remember I said that, you know, my representation matters, and I want people to see that people that look like me can do shows too, right? They can come on here and do a show. They can ask questions. So hopefully I'm adding value to people that maybe the people that want to do a show and maybe didn't think they could. Well, guess what? You can do the show. Or maybe I'm adding value to people that may want to do some type of sponsorship or ask questions about how do I expose my brand to more people. Whatever that is, make sure you're adding some value. And you always want to do your own market research. Ask people. You know, if you're on social media, ask them. You know, how can I add value to you or to my client, the people that listen, the people that watch me? It's okay to ask those questions, and people will tell you. They'll be honest. You know, just be. I'm warning you. Just be open to the comments and questions you're going to get, right? Because some of the stuff you may not want to hear, but sometimes we have to, because marketing is never about you, right? The marketer. It's about the person on the other end. So, and how do we give them what they want? We have to ask them what they want. We just can't force feed stuff. Just force it, or this is what you're going to get. It doesn't matter. I'm going to post this, and don't worry about it. Okay? I post stuff sometimes, and I don't get a lot of engagement, right? It's because the people that follow me, they don't want it. So what do? I mean, I do a lot of stuff just as my own market research, right? But you have to know what people want, what they're looking for, and how you can help them. Okay, that's where that value comes in. Okay, so consistency, add value, and guess what the third one is? I covered it a little while ago. Be authentic. Be yourself. You know, don't come on here being, someone else. Be you. I got to be Russell. I can't be someone else. Like I said, I compete with me to try to be the best Russell of Hotels I can be, or the best On Air with Russell of Hotel show that I can be. So be authentic. I mean, and that's what it comes down to. Authentic, value, and consistency. Okay, those are the keys. Now, once you know these three things about increasing social engagement, what tools would you use? Oh, that's a good question. Well, I use IG Reels and Lives. I do Lives and use IG Reels. Now, IG stands for Instagram, of course. But you can do IG Reels, and IG Reels are basically music that's paired with a video. Okay, so, and make sure that video, well, you know, it depends, but I try to make my videos less than, you know, they can be like 30 seconds, 15 seconds. It just depends on what I'm posting. But you don't want something that's too long, because guess what? People's attention span on social media, they're trying to get to something else, right? So you only get 15 to maybe 25 seconds to capture those people. And you need to capture in the first 3 seconds, is what the experts say, right? So if you don't have something blowing up, boom, you know, like it's going to keep people engaged, you may lose those people. And so people don't even have 15 seconds. You know, if you really think about it, you know, they don't have 15 seconds. But a reel is something that, you know, has some music, so maybe they'll listen to it they'll watch it because of the music. and there's a way that you can find out which music is trending. And it's if you have an Instagram page or whatever, go under Reels, and you see the music, you see the videos. It'll start, scrolling different videos or whatever, and there'll be an arrow, like a black arrow pointing to the music, and where you see the music at the bottom, the name of the song, whatever. There'll be an arrow pointed to it. That means it's trending, because all of them don't have the arrow. Because all the music is not trending, right? So you just look at that. Those are trending songs. Now, how long are they going to be trending? How long have they been trending? We don't know that, right? But you can use those songs. You can copy and save it to your phone, and you can use that. You can repurpose that same song if that's what you want to do. Or I used to do that. I just started, whatever song. Sometimes I'm driving and I hear a song on the radio that I haven't heard in a long time. Because I'm old school. I'll listen to some rock. I listen to K-Rock here in LA, and I get some stuff from there. I listen to R&B. I listen to the local soul or R&B station here in LA. My music genres are all over the board, and people wouldn't think that, but they are, right? One of my favorite groups are the Bee Gees. Okay, so I'll throw some Bee Gees on a song on a reel in a minute. And sometimes it gets a lot of engagement, sometimes it doesn't, because a lot of people don't know, well, what is that song? What the heck is that? The who? The Bee Gees? But anyway, like I said, my music, it varies. Sometimes I'm in the car with my family, like, why are you listening to this music? Why? What is going on here? Okay, but that's the music I grew up on, right? I grew up on R&B, old R&B, and I grew up listening to. I love the Bee Gees. I love that 80s kind of, the 80s kind of music. That's the stuff I grew up on. So what can I say? Studio 54, that kind of stuff. Lonnie says, trust me, folks, Russell is the real deal. Authentic, and authentic. Thank you, Lonnie. I appreciate that. But yeah, so use music. People look for the trending. A lot of people that post, they look for the trending because the more it trends, the more you're going to get engagement. That's the theory behind it, right? So, but in my own market research, sometimes the trending songs don't get a lot of play either. So it could be at the end of trending, so we don't know how long that's been trending. We don't know how long it's going to be trending. So that's why I say, sometimes if the song goes with this particular video, and sometimes I'll just type in a title, like say if I'm showing a hotel, hotel in LA, I'll type in the spacebar, is there a song that says hotel in LA, and see what comes up. And I'll listen to the songs, and I make sure there's not something that has, lyrics that are like out of this world where, I wouldn't play it anyway because it's vulgar and all that kind of stuff, right? So you have to listen to the music to make sure it goes with what you're trying to post. Now, some people will do the whole unedited version. I'm not one of those people that do that. Because I don't know who's going to be listening. So I have to listen to it like I'll let anyone in my family listen to this music. So that's how I post things, right? I only post music and only snippets of music, because it's funny how you can post, like say if it's a 15-second video, it's only going to play 15 seconds, about 15, 16 seconds of that song. But if at the 17th second, they start cussing and cursing and carrying on, well, you only going to take the first 15 seconds, right? You won't take all that. So, but listen to the music before you post it, and make sure at least in that 15 seconds that there's no, unless that's what you want, unless you want cursing and carrying on. That's what my dad would say, carrying on. Okay, if you want that, then go ahead. But no, I'm very mindful of that stuff. But the music is powerful and it works. So that's what Lonnie said. Lonnie says music is so powerful it works. Yeah. So they're watching a video for the music. So whatever reason it is for them to get there, that's fine. They want to hear the music, but they'll have to look at the video too. It's just it. They're not going to click on it and not look at the video. So that's what you want, right? So there you go. And then do lives, okay? Like I do lives, like a live whatever. I'm in a hotel. Say I'm in a hotel lobby. Hey, I'm here from the XYZ hotel in downtown Los Angeles, and I just want to show you guys, check out the bar and all this kind of stuff, and you just pan around, and then people start asking questions like, what hotel is that? Oh, it's the XYZ hotel downtown. Oh, is that the one that's on First Street? Yeah, it's right there across from the theater. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and if you're in good with the hotel, sometimes they'll let you look at the room, right? And you just, I'm on my way to a room, and that kind of thing. And people love that you walk down the hallways or maybe get on the elevator or whatever. So that stuff is big on lives, right? So you want interaction. So, and if you can do the live with someone else, is even better, right? Because you not only get the people that that follow you, that you get the people that follow them, right? Because at the end of your live, it'll ask you if you want to share this or tag. If it asks you, do you want to tag? Yes, you want to tag, and it says you want to tag the collaborator. So whoever that was, whoever you collaborated that show with, you type their name in there, and then you just click it, and it goes to them, and then all they have to do is just accept it, and it goes to all their people. So say I had 20,000 people that, and I don't have 20,000 people. Let's just say I had 20,000 people that follow me on Instagram, and then the person that, like Lonnie, say Lonnie and I did a live together, and he has 20,000 people too. So that's 40,000 people that now I've exposed my brand to, or this live to. So that's the beauty of doing lives with someone else. You not only get your people, but you get their people too. So that's the beauty of it, right? So if you guys have any questions at all about that, just ask me. Who's hiring? I've been away for, I last week I had a guest, but we ended up not doing it, not putting the show out. So I have a lot of people that are hiring, right? So who's hiring? The Cambria Hotel, and most of these hotels are in LA with the exception of one, and I'll get to that one. But most of these hotels are in the greater LA area. Cambria Hotel, El Segundo, they're looking for a flexible remote director of sales. This is at 24/7 Hotels. 24/7, that's the management company. They may own it. Owner and management company, I'm not sure. But let's just say they're a management company. But Cambria is the brand of hotel, and the city is El Segundo, which is just south of LAX, the airport. And they're looking for a flexible remote director of sales, meaning I guess they're flexible if you want to be remote. You can work from home, or you can work on property, or maybe you can do a little bit of both. I don't know. You have to ask them that, but that's what it says. And the next one, Pacific Hospitality Group. Didn't say the hotel, but Pacific Hospitality Group is a management company as well. They're based in Santa Ana, and they're looking for a regional director of sales. So a director of sales who's over multiple hotels. So let's say they're over like 10 hotels, right? Probably within the Southern California area, but it could be outside of Southern California as well. The next one, 24/7 Hotels. They're the management company. They're looking for a regional director of sales as well, and that's in Newport Beach. That's a great location, right? Have an office out of Newport Beach? Come on now, knock it off. Stop. I'm there. Where did I sign up for that one? UCLA Luskin Conference Center. That's in LA on the campus of UCLA, and they're looking for a catering sales manager. And then the UCLA Luskin Center is also looking for a director of sales and marketing. Now, I have to say this. They've been looking for a director of sales and marketing for a minute. Well, I don't know what's going on there, but it was maybe a month ago, and maybe they haven't hired someone from the last posting. I don't know, but just so you know, these postings are they're no more than a week old. Okay, so I only look at the ones I only post the ones that are less than 5 days. They're like 4 or 5 days or less. Okay, no more than 5 days old, these postings, right? So, like I said, I don't know. It always makes me think or wonder when I see the same position at the same place or location posted many times, within, a 2-month period. There could be a possibly great reason for this. Maybe they never hired someone, or maybe they hire somebody and no one ever works out. I don't know, but just always be cautious of that. If you see postings that keep coming up on your searches, like, every month I see this job posted. Well, that tells you something. I don't know what, but it tells you something. So there you go. But the UCLA Luskin Conference Center, they're looking for a director of sales and marketing. Okay, there you go. Sage Hospitality, which is the management company and owner in LA, they're looking for area director of revenue management. Prestige Hospitality, it's a residence inn. Now this one's in Boston, in the Tewksbury Andover area. They're looking for a GM. Now, why am I saying that? Because it was on H Careers. It was under Los Angeles, but the job is in Andover, Maryland, Massachusetts. So they're trying to get people from LA. Somebody from Southern California may want to relocate to the Boston area. So there you go. So that's why that's there. That's why I put that one there. So it's Prestige Hospitality. It's a residence inn by Marriott. It's in the Boston area, and they're looking for a general manager. The Oasis at Death Valley, they're looking for a director of human resources. You know what? I was looking at the name because I'm not familiar with the hotel. I said the Oasis at Death Valley. Isn't that like an oxymoron? You can't have an Oasis in Death Valley. Well, I guess you can, right? But this is a 4-diamond hotel, right? So, which means that's at the top, almost at the top of the food chain as far as hotels and services are concerned. So the Oasis at Death Valley, they're looking for a director of human resources, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, they have apartments there for their staff, so you can actually stay there, right? So say you live in LA and you only want to be there, 5 days. You can stay the night there, you can stay there, and then you come home on the weekends. I'm just saying, I think that's what this property is. I'm just saying that. I don't know that for a fact, but when you look into it, ask that question. And the LA Athletic Club, downtown LA, they're looking for a director of finance. I know that property. I love the LA Athletic Club. I have a friend that works there. What is her name? Terry Ornato. She's a director of sales and marketing. So, I just dropped a name for you. So, if you're interested in that, director of finance, call the LA Athletic Club, ask for Terry. Say, hey, Russell of Hotels said you have some insight on that position. Okay, just let her know that. Non-meat eats. Now, you guys know I'm big on the non-meat eats, meaning I don't eat meat. I'm all about plant-based, vegan, if you will. My diet's vegan, but my lifestyle is not vegan. And somebody knows what that means, right? They're like, oh, okay, I got you. So last week, now we go find a place every week, right? So every week that I'm available or no one's out of town, we go and find new restaurants. Now, we went to this place called El Cancinero. El Cancinero, okay? It's a Mexican vegan restaurant in Van Nuys, which is in the Valley section of Los Angeles County. And we went there. It opens at 1:00. So we're there, okay. So we're leaving at like 12:45. Takes us about 20 minutes to get there, okay. So we're going to be there. We're going to miss all the crowds. We're going to do that. At least that's what our thinking was, right? We get there, and there's probably 30 people in line that haven't even made it into the restaurant to sit or whatever. And the restaurant's not that big, right? I'm like, oh, my goodness. I heard it was popular, but I didn't know it was that popular. But it was like 30 to 40 people in line outside, like, no, we're not going to wait. So we end up going, our second choice for that day, Sun Cafe, which is in Studio City. So, which it was still good, but it wasn't. I mean, if you have your mouth fixed on tacos or Mexican food, and then you end up with a breakfast burrito, it's just not the same, right? So, but it was good. I got the breakfast burrito, and then we had this cookie dough cheesecake, which is, like I said, this is all vegan, but it was good. It was good, but like I said, it wasn't the same as Mexican food, because that's what I wanted. A taco. I wanted one of those birria taco. Oh my gosh, they do birria with what do you call it? Jackfruit. So birria is like, I want to say is it pork, but it's shredded, and so the jackfruit has a consistency like that same kind of pork, right? You can shred it like that, so it's the same thing. So I wanted because I've seen people on Instagram. I follow them on Instagram, and people like eating these tacos, these birria. Oh my God, they look so good. I'm like, that's and I, you know how you get in your mind that, oh man, that's gonna be so good, right? And then you get there, and then there's 30 people online, and you got to go somewhere else. So, but we'll make it there. It's just that we didn't go there this week. But like I said, Sun Cafe, Studio City. It's on Ventura Boulevard, not too far from Universal Studios. So it's not too far from the Sheraton Universal where I used to work. Right, it's actually right down the hill, right there on Ventura Boulevard. So, did you know Ventura Boulevard has the most sushi restaurants? And I mean, it's Ventura Boulevard. This stretch of Ventura Boulevard, I'm gonna say it's maybe 3 miles, and they have like 50 to 100 sushi restaurants in this 3 mile area. It's crazy. I mean, I didn't realize that, and then because I used to work in on Ventura, and then one day I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna drive and see. And yeah, I mean, there's so many sushi restaurants that are on top of each other. It's just crazy. But yeah, it has the most concentrated um, uh, sushi restaurants and then anywhere in I don't know in the United States like, or maybe outside of Japan. I don't know, but there are, and I've gone to a couple. I haven't made it to all 50 because they're not all vegan now, right? But this is before I became vegan. So anyway, just ask Russell. He has your back on vegan experiences. Yes, Russell, Taco Tuesday. Yes, today is Taco Tuesday. Russell is the king of vegan cuisine and location. I try to be, Lottie. Thank you. Yeah. I take pride on that vegan, the non-meat eats. Okay, so check out my Instagram pages and you'll see the non-meat eats. I haven't posted the last thing, Sun Cafe, but I will. But yeah. But the previous stuff, I had vegan sushi a couple of weeks ago. Oh man, and I turned someone else onto that. Two other people have gone there, and they're calling me like, man, that place was so good. That was legit. We need to go there together. Blah blah blah. So anybody that I've told this, they have gone and they have, basically confirmed that it was lit. It was fire, right? It was like I couldn't tell the difference. Like what are they making this stuff with? Because it tastes like, seafood. Okay, so yeah. But anyway, where am I? Because God, I only got 2 minutes left. No, I got as long as I want to go. No, I try to keep this around 2 o'clock, but we're gonna have to go over today because it's 1:59. So that's who's hiring. What do I do? I'm a brand show off because people always ask, well, what do you do anyway? I mean, I know you're just on air with Russell's Hotels, but what do you really do? I'm a brand show off. What does that mean? I'm a brand show off. That means I show off your brand. Whatever that brand is, my job is via social media or coming on the show. My job is to show off your brand. Okay, although I do a good job of showing off my brand too, right? But my purpose is to show off your brand. If that's hotels, if that's a tourism, if that's non-meat eats, whatever it is, I mean, we can talk. Just give me a call and we'll go from there. But I focus on hotels, tourism, and hashtag non-meat eats, right? So that's where that brand show off comes from. Hotel site selection. I mentioned this earlier, where companies, organizations, or maybe even individuals will contact me because they don't have time to negotiate contracts, rates, things like that for their groups. Group is 10 rooms or more on a peak night. I've done from 10 rooms a night to 500, 600 rooms on a peak night. So it doesn't matter. It can be as long as it's 10 rooms or more. It doesn't matter. I can assist you. So my job is you let me know which your destination. You choose a destination, and I'll find a hotel for you. Based on what your budget criteria is. I've worked with people from family reunions that are kind of on tight budgets to some companies that don't have budgets at all. They want 5-star and they don't want anything less than that. So just let me know, and we go from there. So And what's involved with that is, site selection. I do site tours. Um, I mean, I fly depending on the nature of the group or how the size of the group. I'll fly in if it happens to be, let's just say it's in Orlando, Florida, right? That's where the meeting you want. I'll go to Orlando and I'll, scout out the hotel, make sure it's the right hotel or hotels in that area, make sure they're the right hotels for you. So it's not all just doing everything, virtually. I'll actually go there because sometimes you have to, well, a lot of times you have to experience what's going on, right? You have to experience and see, because sometimes they don't tell you everything. So those websites, like, you don't know. I booked things sight unseen before and got burned, meaning, I'm talking to the hotel and say, hey, are you having any renovation going on at that time? And they say, oh, no, we're not doing any renovation. And then when the group checks in, you didn't tell me there's renovation going on in the lobby. Like, well, the hotel didn't tell me that. Well, now that's my problem, right? Because I didn't do the proper. I didn't go and screen that hotel out like I should have, right? And ask the right questions. So guess what's one of the top questions I asked? Is there any renovation going on? So, you live and learn. And like I said, with my experience, I mean, those are things that I pass on to my clients. Like, my job is to go there to make sure it's the best hotel for you, for your group, and it meets within your budgeted parameters. And everything is above board, meaning I communicate with my clients all the time, let them know exactly what I'm working on, copy them on emails that I receive, because it's all about communication, right? I want them to know that they can trust me. I'm not holding anything back, and that's not what you want to do. You never want to hold anything. You don't want anything to be a surprise to your client, right? So you want to make sure that you give them all the information that you're getting as well, right? So hotel site selection. And the next thing I do, and what did Dylan say? Dylan Bowman, what's going on, Dylan? And hotel product promotion online. Did I miss something? What was I talking about? Hotel product promotion online. Yes. Yeah, I must have missed something. I'm sorry, Dylan. And I'm a show producer. I used to say I'm a show host. Yeah, you guys know I'm a show host, but going through putting on the show by myself, I'm a show producer. Now I know how to produce a show is what I'm saying. Because like I said, when I first started doing on air with Russell of Hotels, I did a radio show for the first 90 shows. Okay, so the first 90 shows were at a radio station, internet radio station. So all I had to do was just show up, but it forced me to learn what was going on, and then that way I can apply it on my own, right? So now I can produce a show because guess what? I've been producing my own show now, or this show, for the last, almost 2 years now. So yeah, so I changed it because it used to say show host. I changed it to show producer because that's what I do now. I mean, I do produce this show, and I actually produce another show too, someone else's show. It has nothing to do with hospitality. So we do the same things here, but his is a straight podcast. It's not a video cast like this one is, right? So you can't see him, not at this point, but we're going to get to that point. He doesn't think he needs that, but I'm like, you need it. It's just that get used to doing the podcast, and we'll go from there. Dylan says, you promote hotels you have an interest in, help you in digital promotion. You promote hotels who have an interest in your help. Yes. Due diligence prior wins. Yes, you have to do your due diligence in hotels, especially when you're trying to sell it to your client, right? So you got to do your homework. You can't just show up and say, hey, this is the hotel I'm going to give you without doing any homework. And you can't be partial to any hotels either. So you can't like, oh, I'm because I used to work with Marriott, I'm only going to show you Marriott hotels. Well, no, you can't do that. You can't be biased because it's up to the client. I'm not the one signing the agreement. The client has to sign the agreement, right? So my job is to bring the best hotels that meet the needs of that client and his or her group. That's it. Now, if they ask me questions like, hey, what do you think about this? Give me some pros and cons of each hotel. Okay, I'll break it down what the pros or cons are. and see if they line up with the goals of the client. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to please the client. Because why are you trying to please the client? Because you want more business from the client, right? So it's all about the client, what the client wants. I'll throw in independent hotels, because sometimes we sleep on independent hotels. And independent hotels are great. They're just as good, and if not better, than some of these branded hotels. It just depends on the market, right? So yeah. So no, I make sure whatever's in that area that fits the needs of that particular hotel. That's what I try to put in front of the hotel, put in front of my client. And like I said, if they have questions, yes, this is why I like this one. This is I don't like this because of this. Blah 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 blah. And this one's going through the renovation. You know what I mean? So, but those are all on my notes as well, so they know up front, exactly, what they're going to get when they get there, right? So, Dylan says, "Thanks, Lonnie. Good day." Hey, Dylan. Okay, they're just talking back and forth. Okay, so let's see, and that's what it's all about, right? We want people that are talking back and forth on the chats, right? So that's Dylan. Dylan is the general manager at the Fairfield Inn in Eugene, Oregon. So if you ever going to, I always do this because that's Go Ducks. That's the Oregon Ducks. That's what they do. If you're ever in Eugene, Oregon, and you're going to the campus of University of Oregon, Dylan's down the street from there, right? It's the Fairfield Inn. You need to stay there, okay? Just tell him Russell of Hotels sent me, and he'll give you that ROH rate, right, Dylan? You're trying to reach me, just reach out, Russell at russellofhotels.com. That is my email. On social media, follow me on LinkedIn, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to YouTube, please. I appreciate that. And then I'm on Twitter as well. And now all that is at Russell of Hotels. Okay. And let's see. Dylan says, "You're too kind." Thanks, Russell. Of course. Yeah. So, but can they get that Russell of Hotels rate, Dylan? Because now they're going to call. They're going to start coming to see you. Okay. So Dylan's the GM. Once again, Dylan's the general manager. Okay. The general manager's top guy, right? Or top person at that hotel, right? So everything starts and finishes with that person, right? So, yeah, if you're in Oregon, Eugene, going to the University of Oregon, or maybe you're just passing through and Eugene was on your path and you need a place to stay, Fairfield Inn, Eugene is where you need to stay, and just ask for Dylan and just say, "Dylan, you're Dylan, right?" And just mention Russell of Hotels. And there you go. One thing to ask yourself: what are you doing to keep your brand relevant? So whatever that is, whatever you're doing, are you posting? Is that what you do? Are you talking about it? Are you doing lives? Whatever that is, you need to keep your brand relevant, because people tend to, like in the case of hotels, people tend to book with the last thing they saw about your brand. Okay, so if I'm going to Eugene and the last thing I saw about a hotel was the Fairfield Inn in Eugene, because they posted their guest service scores or they posted their buffet that they do every morning, guess where I'm going to stay? I'm going to stay at the Fairfield Inn in Eugene. Okay, that's just it. So what are you doing to keep your brand relevant? Follow Dylan. I want to say it's Eugene. It's Fairfield Inn Eugene on Instagram. Follow that, and you'll see the postings that they do. They talk about their people. They talk about, the food that they put out. They talk about where they are. They show pictures. They show videos. Check it out, right? So that's what he's doing to keep his brand relevant. Okay, that's what I mean by that. So whatever you need to do it, because like I said, people tend to remember the last thing they saw, and because hotels are not on everybody's mind unless you need it, right? So if I'm going to Oregon and my kid just got accepted to the University of Oregon, I don't know where to stay, but if I happen to be on Instagram, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, Fairfield Inn, Eugene, look it up. Oh, it's like 5 minutes away from the campus. That's where I'm staying. That's how it works, right? So Fairfield, Eugene, yes, that's what it is. Sure, I would be thrilled to hear that. Yes, okay. Well, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my job, Dylan. I won't go into SSI scores today. SSI score is your LinkedIn score. Well, maybe I'll just jump on it. My last time I did this, I got 70 out of 100, and you're rated. Anyone could do this. Anyone on LinkedIn can do it. You just have to have a profile. You just Google LinkedIn SSI score, and it'll come up with how you can, click on the link and get your score. And it does it automatically. It doesn't cost you anything. And these are the four things, the four categories: establish your professional brand, find the right people, engage with insights, and build relationships. So those are things that you're graded on. But like I said, I'm not going to go through that today. The 3 Ps: purpose, know why you do what you do. Let me just hold on one second. I always want to make sure I don't forget something before I get to the last things of the show. Yep. Purpose. Know why you're doing what you do. Okay. Know the purpose of why you're doing it. Why does Russell do this show? He does a show to reach people within, not just in the industry, but people that have an interest in the industry, people that maybe want to book meetings and things like that, people that have just an interest in hospitality. Non-meat eats, whatever. So that's the purpose for the show, is to give information to either hospitality people, because it's split in half. Hospitality people and people that are buyers, meaning people that watch the show or listen to the show because they want information about maybe how to navigate through the hotel crap, of contracts or whatever, but that's what I'm here to do, right? So if you have questions about that, you can reach out to me and I can guide you. But that's the purpose, right? It's all a learning thing. We want people to interact on the show. So we want people to build relationships like Dylan and Lonnie have, and several other people have as well. So that's the purpose, the passion. Either you have it or you don't. Either if I didn't have passion, you would know it and you wouldn't listen at all. Okay, you'd be like, I'm over this one. So either you have it or you don't. If you don't have passion for what you're doing or whatever that is, if you don't have passion for it, you know what? Stop that and do something else. Perseverance. Be consistent. Continue to evolve. Don't give up, and swerve when you need to. Just remember, we don't pivot here. We swerve. Pivot is like you're already in the crap, and you're just like, where do I go? Where do I go? Swerve is you see the crap in the distance and you swerve to avoid it. Okay, so there's a big difference between, excuse me, there's a big difference between pivoting and swerving. Okay, at least in the world of Russell of Hotels. Okay, so, but there you go. Let's see. And one more time with the old sponsorship, Agua Resort, Nicaragua. Like I said, I'm trying to make it there by the end of the year. And I mentioned this earlier. And then my next guest, now this is not next week. This is going to be the 17th. But my next guest was my last week's guest, who, excuse me, Miss Paula C. So she's going to be on the 17th. Remember, I mentioned at the beginning of the show that my had some technical difficulties, so I was not able to do this. Well, I wasn't able to keep the show because it just had too many glitches and we lost connection. So we're going to redo it. And Paula's good with that. She said, yes, we'll do it again. So I'll throw her name up there again. But like I said, this will be the 17th of May will be the next time. I have another guest, okay, and it will be Miss Paula C. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. I do appreciate it. Don't take it light that you guys come on and listen to me and watch me. I just don't.
Thank you for joining On Air with
So you guys have a great day, great week. Taco Tuesday, have some tacos. I'll catch up with you next time. Take care.
Professionals. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, try not to be a person of success. Rather, become a person of great value.